What is up, everyone? Welcome to round 4 of the semifinals of the Regrowth Cup 2024. Yes, we didn't do a top 8 cut here. We're just doing 5 rounds of old school Eternal Central 2-pack goodness. So without further ado, let's see who's playing. First up is James on this super sweet white, blue, black Beast Orb Combo deck. This thing has so many cool altars, I don't even know where to look. If you're not familiar with Guardian Beast, which is the namesake of the deck, Guardian Beast is a 4-drop 2/4 beast creature for 3 and a black. As long as Guardian Beast is untapped, non-creature artifacts you control can't be enchanted. They have indestructible, which is the important part here, and other players can't gain control of them. This effect does not remove auras or attach to those artifacts. So Guardian Beast actually combos really well with Chaos Orb and Nevinral's Disc, because both don't have a sack clause, which this does not protect against being indestructible, but instead actually has destroy effects. Nevinral's Disc actually doesn't even say you destroy it, it just destroys all artifacts, which includes it. So if you crack a disc, it does kill the Guardian Beast, but you get the disc back. And if you crack an orb, you just get to use it over and over again on your next turn. So repeatable ways of destroying your opponent's stuff seems pretty good. This deck is also backed up with a ton of copy artifacts, transmute artifacts. Like I said, it is fully powered as well, has a couple of icy manipulators. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this is 2-packs, so Mishra's Factory and Mishra's Workshop both are limited to 2, as well as the 2 strips that he does have in the deck as well. Overall, a super rad list. I can't wait to see how it plays. Next up, we have Andrew on a hyper aggressive Tax Edge deck, which looks also super sweet. I love all the Japanese printings that he's got in here. If you're not familiar with this deck, there is a combo with Land's Edge and Land Tax, where you're able to fill your hand full of tons of lands to discard them to Land's Edge to deal damage. It can be a fantastic win con coming almost out of nowhere sometimes. The deck is also super aggressive with Ithcan Javeliniers, some Savannah Lions. It's running 3 copper tablets, which is new to me, but is pretty interesting tech if you're winning the aggro war. Obviously, doing repeatable damage is good. Has some Black Vices as well, which does help punish your opponent if they're deciding to hold up too many cards in hand to avoid triggering the land's tax. And of course, it's got its 4 bolts, 4 chain lightnings, and some windfalls for that extra card drop. Overall, this deck is definitely going to be the aggressor, so I'm very interested to see how this matchup goes. And here we go. James is on the left, Andrew is on the right. Like I said in the deck text, Andrew's definitely the aggressor here, definitely wanting a quick start before those Guardian Beasts and board wipes and orb hits the field. Guardian Beast also is just a tremendous blocker in addition to enabling James's combo. Being a 2/4 for 4 is not too shabby here in old school. All right, I do see what looks like a pretty aggressive start from Andrew. He's got at least 1 lion, a land tax. I think he does have the plains as well.
I'm gonna keep. Okay.
And a wheel. Okay. Looks good. James having some good interaction. I see a disc and a counter spell. I didn't see if he has 2 tundras or, well, there's a lotus. I think he does have, yeah, I believe that's the demonic tutor. Not entirely sure. A couple of his altars are pretty full frame. Yeah, okay, that's the blue skull, which I believe is his demonic tutor. All right, let's go factory into lotus.
Go.
And it's just going to pass, it looks like. James going to crack the library, already getting advantage out of it. One thing about land tax is being on the play as an aggro deck is usually what you want to do, but with land tax, if you're always down a land, usually on the draw is better, right? So kind of an interesting anti-synergy. He's going to play out a lions and pass, though. And James is gonna, I believe, play out this Tundra. Although thinking about it. Gonna crack the Lotus. Tap the Tundra. Ooh, and we did draw a Guardian Beast. Alright, 2/4 on the table. All of a sudden that Mishra's Factory is a indestructible blocker. Can't block this turn, obviously, but in the future, that's going to be pretty good. That's a cool little synergy. I think I forgot to mention the deck tech as well. Just turning the factories into indestructible creatures. Not bad. Now, of course, they still can't get swords. But I don't know if I saw any swords main in Andrew's list. Usually giving life gain to your opponent is not what the aggro deck wants to do. Alright, second Lions and pass. Opting not to swing in, not bluffing a lightning bolt. Although I think he does have a lightning bolt in hand, so he could have potentially gotten 2 damage in there.
Demonic Tutor.
Alright, City of Brass to get that black mana, taking a point, and we are going to play Demonic Tutor. I assume going for the orb? Yep, going for the orb.
I don't know if I've ever met Quaylen versus.
Alright, I'm probably not playing it this turn, just because that getting... Well, actually, you could play it this turn. But James probably wanted to hold up counterspell mana. We did see he had a counterspell in hand, or at the very least bluff to his opponent that he does. We know he does. But against an aggressive deck like this, I wonder if it's better to play to the board. You don't have to worry about land tax coming down yet, because both players are still at land parity. Don't have to worry about getting removed because of the Guardian Beast. A little discussion here, I think, happening on if a land was played. Yes, it was. Both players have made their land drop every turn.
You started. And I'm on 3. You're on 3? And you're on 3.
At least I'm pretty sure.
Tundra or... Tundra or City? Ah, that's fine.
Oh wait, no, did Andrew hold back on
Yes, I did.
one?
To cast that. That's right. Alright. I thought it was last turn, but yeah, we're You're good.
No, I don't think he did. Okay, yep, we're gonna pass. Alright, Andrew's turn. Gonna probably just tap that library, get a card draw here. Yep. And at a certain point, he's gonna have enough lands. We do see he does have a land tax, or sorry, a land's edge in hand. He does have the land tax as well, but he has both pieces of the combo. Can't get it to trigger right now. He does have the wheel still, I believe, and a bolt. I think the rest are mostly just lands. All right, we're going to combat now. That factory is tapped down. It is no longer a indestructible blocker. James is going to take the 4 damage. Can't risk a bolt eating his Guardian Beast. And Andrew just going to pass. Not playing out anything. Not even putting a land drop this turn. Really wanting to try and trigger that tax. Okay. Oh, I guess we are going to just throw a bolt here. Interesting. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Then go into James's turn. Maybe wanting to do that while, or on his upkeep, just in case there is a counterspell. Alright, here's Factory into Orb. Or sorry, Workshop into Orb. I'm gonna get those two mixed up all the freaking time.
Activate Orb. Yep.
And let's trigger the Orb. First Orb flip, and it is good. Down goes a Lion. And because of that Guardian Beast, that Orb does not get destroyed. It just remains tapped, and next turn he can bring it back. Or reuse it, I should say, not bring it back.
It's a good one. Cards in hand. 3.
And Andrew here thinking what exactly he wants to do. He's got a grip of cards. He's gonna have to start playing out something. He can play out the land tax this turn. Looks like that's what's gonna happen.
Okay. Yep.
Are we not tapping the library to draw a card?
Take it.
Alright, swinging for 2. James still holding up counterspell mana. Draw a card off the library. Opting to not activate his factory and block the line. Not even blocking the line with his Guardian Beast, which is interesting, considering he does have counterspell up. Maybe just really looking to hit a land's edge here. Alright, there's a Tundra. Some more blue mana. Ooh, and we got a copy artifact. Let's copy the orb. So now we got 2 orbs. Okay. Now, Workshop is a fantastic card, but it can't do anything with activated abilities. It can ramp you out to get all your cool artifacts out there, but unfortunately, that mana can only be used to cast. All right, we are going to orb here, and that one is no good, unfortunately. Are we going to spend another one? Or are we going to give Andrew a land tax trigger? I mean, holding up a counterspell is important, but your opponent drawing 3 cards is not great either. Unless he's really trying to bait out the land's edge here. Like, sure, you can draw 3 cards. Force the land's edge. This is a great read if that is what James is trying to do. Putting your opponent on a copy of it. I mean, it makes sense. This is a very popular archetype of deck. Once you see land tax in white-red, you're assuming your opponent's on land's edge as well. But the read that he has it in hand could be risky. You are definitely giving your opponent a lot of card thinning by the 2nd or 3rd activation of land tax. There's a bronze tablet. I think he's had that for a little bit. All right. Pull to the front. Land's edge. We casting it. We're playing our land first. Or do we swing for damage with the lion first? No, we're main phase. He's thinking about it. He's seriously thinking about it. Okay, plan out a mountain first. Swing for damage. 2 coming through. James already at 10, by the way. Has not dealt a single point of damage to Andrew this game. Definitely comfortably in the role of the control deck. Now with 2 orbs out, can destroy up to 2 things each turn. We're not playing Gentleman's Rules. He does obviously have to make the orb flips. And there is the land's edge, which will immediately get counterspelled. James going to 7. And suddenly Andrew can't do a thing with all the lands in his hand. And I imagine is going to discard at this point. It is interesting he did keep up a white mana. Again, I don't remember there being a swords in his list, but it's entirely possible it's in there. Maybe just bluffing that he has the swords. Okay, we are pitching 2 lands. Say go. Now James is at 5 lands right now, so he's in for a penny and for a pound at this point. Doesn't make sense to hold up lands. Andrew does still have that wheel in hand. We just saw from his little preview. He does have a disenchant, which is doing nothing. All right, that orb flip is good. That tax is gone. What else are we flipping on? All right, the library. That one is no good. We're about 50-50 on orb flips right now. I will mention this is, of course, round 4, and this is an old school tournament, so not to speak to any of the participants' toxicity levels, but beer was definitely flowing. So I'm not holding orb flips against anybody. James playing out the disc and then passing. It's actually gotten to the point where, depending on the old school tournament, I'll actually take orbs out, depending on how much fun I'm planning on having. Ooh, there's the swords, which we are going to cast here to take out the lion. That explains why the lion did not get orbed. And James goes up to a very comfy 22, but has no threats on the field and is staring down 2 orbs, a disc, and a guardian beast. And of course the factory, which can now also start swinging in. Now from Andrew's hand, I think we saw a wheel. A wheel here would be a horrible plan, giving your opponent a fresh grip of cards. But we can... Okay, there we go. Copper tablet. The often not seen tapping the library for mana. Actually, I had to triple check you even do that because I don't even remember the last time I've seen a library tapped for mana. But yes, that is a thing. That's one of the reasons why that card is so good. It's just a land plus card draw. And it's just going to pass. Take 1 off of the tablet. Yes, Andrew pointing it out. This is my win con now. 6-turn clock. Gotta miss 12 orb flips. And even then, you can still just crack the disc. All right, orb on the library. That one is a hit. What else do we want to do here? We gotta start getting in for damage, right? At a certain point. Orb here on the only white source. That is also down. Interestingly, leaving the tablet up, so the tablet will at least deal 2 damage here. Bolt on the guardian beast. Okay. Oh no, bolt to face. Sorry, that makes way more sense. And then, yeah, James not pushing damage through, not attacking. Or is he attacking? No? Okay. Weird. I mean, I get it, a blocker up, but there's no haste creatures in Andrew's deck. I don't think. Maybe just being extra cautious. But you'd still have the factory, right? As a blocker. Oh. Reading the card explains the card. Garden Beast, first line of text, as long as it's untapped. So, he cannot actually swing in with the Guardian Beast for fear of losing his orbs and or disc. Alright, 3 mana coming down. And this is a bit of a desperation wheel for Andrew. But all he does have to do is hit a Chain Lightning or a Bolt. Although James did just hit counter spells and Brainstorm. There is a Bolt. Andrew going for it. Andrew not going for it. Opting for the Vice instead. Slower win. That will get countered. Oh, no, is that it? He had the Mox into Bolt, and that is game number 1 going to Andrew. From the jaws of defeat, Andrew taking that down. Maybe not defeat. His opponent was at 3, obviously, but definitely looking a little grim with those orbs demolishing his board and last chance just getting it through with that wheel that he'd had since the beginning of the game, choosing the right time to cast it. Okay, so James on the play here. Opting to mulligan. And we do now see a swords in Andrew's hand, so at the very least it was in the sideboard. Great answer for those Guardian Beasts when direct damage cannot easily take care of them. I think I see also a land tax. I don't know if I see a 1-drop creature threat, but this is the part of the deck where it actually is beneficial to be on the play, or sorry, on the draw. Being able to play out that land tax turn 1. And Andrew's still very excited about that. Wheel into Mox 2 threats.
We've talked about like crowdsourcing, like seeing if we get all the old schoolers in and be like,
that was a very good wheel. Maybe the best wheel I've seen in a long time. Yeah, getting potentially 2 threats. Playing out the Vice first is was very smart. Alright, we'll see if James can get a keepable 5 here. He did draw the orb naturally, which is nice. Felwar Stone, Red Elemental Blast. I think a Time Walk. Does he have any colored mana sources here? He's got a City of Brass. Okay, yeah. That seems keepable, potentially. Choosing to put the Red Elemental Blast back, it looked like. Oh, yeah, Andrew having the... Oh, there's a Guardian Beast there too. Okay, Guardian Beast Orb in his starting hand seems pretty good.
they're like, these dudes keep showing us their hands.
Playing out the Workshop into Felwar Stone. Here we go. Take a point for Mana Burn. Which is something I was not calling out in the previous game. But I'm sure people... Ooh, there's a strip. Well, I think the factory did its job. It got the Felwar Stone out there. Which is not going to do anything right now. Can't tap for mana. There's no lands on the field. City Brass. Pass. Mox Pearl. Into a land tax. Your go. So that strip coming down more than likely, yeah. Are we taking an extra turn here? Looks like it. Okay. Tap draw. There's a disenchant. That is a great hit. No more land tax. And now you're just a couple turns behind. Unless you have another land tax. Yeah, I think Andrew having to play out a land here. Now Felwar Stone tapping for white, which is relevant. It is one of the colors in James's deck. And Andrew's just going to pass. There's a Plains. Are we casting the Beast? The Beast is loose. Andrew's got opinions on it. And it is going to get swords. That will get exiled, not in the graveyard. But James will gain 2. I missed what his starting life at. 17? Okay. He has taken a bit of damage from that city. At least 3 turns worth. And a point of mana burn too. Alright, there's a plateau. Blood Moon. Nasty. Alright, everything's red. Except for the Felwar Stone. Yep. And I don't actually know if James runs
You won't take damage from your city anymore?
islands in the deck. I'm assuming so. I'm assuming there's at least one. So right now he's got red and white mana. He did just use his disenchant. There's an orb. We did see the orb before. We're gonna orb the Blood Moon. And this is a very key moment. And it hits. Alright, everything is back to the way it was. And notably, James has left up Counterspell. If he has it. I'm not sure if he has it in hand. He's got one card. I thought it was a Brainstorm. Or not Brainstorm, a Brain Geyser. But maybe I mistook it for a mana drain.
On the off chance that it matters, I don't think I
Alright, there's a Vice. Not going to do too much right now.
One card in hand.
I don't know, maybe you got Twister or something. I mean, you know, I've got a wheel, so.
Right.
Is that a city?
You know,
That is a city. It's not going to do much right now either.
would you look at
In fact, it's
Right.
directly worse with that Vice on the field.
did that altar?
No, SK alters did it. He didn't want to do it. I asked him.
But he can
I don't want to take that.
Brain Geyser for 4?
Contracted out somebody else who will then.
Is that what we're looking at here?
Over, or did he
No, the signature was old.
And he did the painting around
SK
it.
did the painting under it. Yeah.
Don't, dude. Don't.
Alright, taking a point to do so. Hopefully he remembers to take that point of damage. That will get Red Elemental Blast.
Yeah.
Still has to take the damage though.
Go.
Alright, looks like that point will get missed. Hopefully one of the players catches it or it's not relevant. Alright, City in a Bottle. That City Traders is cooked as well as the library, yes. Yep. A little 2 for 1 there. Say go.
So it doesn't count, right? You can keep it in play.
It's not Fallen Empires. It's fucking
Alright, Lotus and pass. Better to keep it in hand, I guess. Oh, yeah, gonna strip mine the plateau. Taking your opponent off of red seems like a good plan.
Another exciting magic we have going on here.
There's a lion. There's a guardian beast. Gonna crack the Lotus. Play out the guardian beast.
That's gonna be kind
Say go. Does Andrew have another swords in hand?
Oh my god.
Oh. And Andrew correctly pointing out that Guardian Beast is from Arabian Nights. So that city will kill it. Alright, 2 coming in.
I totally forgot you even played City. I spaced that. So
And the thing's looking a little grim for Andrew. Or for James, sorry. Things are looking great for Andrew at this point. His bottle has killed, at this point, 3 things. He's got a lion on the field. He's got at least a chain lightning in hand. Down to 10.
that's so funny.
There's an orb. That'll stall things out a little bit, hopefully. Assuming there's no disenchants. Yep, looks like it'll stick around. Next turn, he can start tapping down things. Swing for 2. James down to 8. Gets a factory. That is very relevant. Suddenly things are looking a little better for James. Much slower. No longer just a free attack in. And just to be cautious, yes, we are gonna icy the lion. Tap a white. Oh, and speaking of orbs, Andrew has his own orb. Is gonna crack it on the factory.
God, I haven't done this in a while.
And just having to prepare a little bit for the orb. That flip is good. Factory's down.
And that'll be a pass.
Alright, and I think that was a red elemental blast. I'm also just noticing that James has an orb tattooed on his forearm, which is amazing. I wonder if that is actually marking the correct 1 foot height. Chain Lightning to the dome. Down 5. Say go. There's another orb. Or another manipulator. If it was an orb, that'd be, I think, a judge call. Both players having used theirs already. Alright, I see the lion. Say go. I think that's a power sink.
Pretty buzzed, so.
And James really just trying to find something to hold on here. He's able to take care of the lion right now, but the second another creature comes down, I think it's going to be a lot tougher. He does have that counter power sink. There's the Vise, which doesn't do anything yet. Oh, it's a mana leak, I think. There's a copy artifact.
Interesting.
Make sure to untap his Icy. I mean, you do have to play something out. Really don't want to be hitting or giving your opponent free damage. Oh, he is going to pass. Okay.
Not yet, buddy.
There's a red elemental blast. We got, I think that's control magic? No, counterspell. Mana leak, copy artifact, Icy. Alright. Same as before, tapping down the lion. And we're having to go through the steps every time, just so James isn't tapping down. Vanna. And it should have taken a point, right? Or is it 4 and over? I'm much more used to the rack. There's a disc. That is pretty big. The lion is going to get to swing in for free here.
Okay.
Might as well go all out.
Yeah, I know.
See what you got.
So
All right, down to 3. This is dangerous territory.
have it guaranteed. That's the thing.
If Andrew has a bolt or a chain lightning or anything,
What do I do?
James is just dead. He could Wind of Change and hope to hit something. But that is risky. Potentially giving your opponent an out, because they're not doing anything with their mana yet.
All right.
And he is.
Winds of change.
Alright, both players draw
I will be at 4.
equal to the cards in hand.
So I discard mana drain, counterspell.
And James is showing
You shuffle them in.
I had all these good stuff. Didn't do anything with it.
Yep. Wait, you shuffled 4 cards in, yeah.
Yeah. I don't get to draw 4 hands.
Right.
I had 5 in hand. when I
Yeah.
cast it.
Yeah. No, that's fine, yeah.
So,
You're looking for the
I'm looking for a bolt or a chain. In 4 cards. Yeah, I mean, is doable.
how many are in your graveyard?
I've already cast several, right? 2 chains. Okay.
And let's see what both player draws. This is going to be a pretty big cut.
Pretty good.
Or just straight up draw.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Alright, that's a blue elemental blast, a mox, a counter spell.
Flip it.
I'm not sure what the 4th card is. Maybe a soul ring.
But
Andrew's not tapping red mana. There's a disenchant for the disc. I don't think he saw
4 cards.
burn spell. All right, there's
Still not over.
another Mox. Might as well just play out the Mox. And the Soul Ring. All the mana in the world. He does have counter spell up.
Jesus.
You gave me good shit, dude.
Oh my god.
Pass.
Well, still got your
And that blue elemental blast, which is going to be very relevant.
No. Still got 2.
combat.
Go to combat. Yep. Tap down the lion.
Fucking man.
Play out another lion. Is that worth countering?
Long stack.
Yes, that will be countered.
Countered. Pass.
And pass. James is holding on by the skin of his teeth here. There's another disc. That's very good. I mean, it does blow up all of his artifacts,
You go.
but it does get rid of the threats. And he does have to keep his hand size small right now. And I'm not sure what Andrew is drawing here, but it's not any of the 8 3 damage spells in his deck.
I go.
Say go. Disc is live. There's an ivory tower. It's a little late. Is it still gonna play it out? Okay, we're gonna play out the ivory tower. It's a solitary blue elemental blast in hand.
What?
That's an odd play. Okay.
It's spooling out my hand.
Okay.
Spooling out my hand.
Finger on the trigger for the disc.
And I think Andrew is hitting a lot of lands. I think that's another plateau.
Oh yeah, I'm not popping that disc right now.
Combat.
Yeah, move to combat, tap down the lion.
Yeah, I mean, it would be.
Is that just a pass?
Yeah.
It's a weird combination that you have to get, but I'm sure you can get there. Pass.
Yeah, there we go. No reason to play out the land. His winds of change get better the more cards he's holding on to. There's a Guardian Beast.
Get there.
Is it worth it to crack the disc? Lose... Well, actually, sorry, you don't lose all your artifacts. That's right.
Oh wait. Fuck.
Alright, so we are gonna attempt to crack the disc,
Come on, James.
Drunk.
right?
Rewind that.
No, he can't because of the city in a bottle.
I was like, why are you playing this game? You must have something.
Andrew very graciously allowing him to take that back. That was almost
Pop it.
a nail, so we can't crack the disc without...
Pop it. Pop it.
Okay, we are gonna crack the disc here.
That's it.
I'm buzzed.
We're gonna float a bunch of mana.
I'm like, I'm buzzed.
Everything resets.
I'm drunk.
We're jamming.
I am
We're
faded.
jamming.
Alright,
You should float. Float mana.
well I did.
Okay, good.
And play out the Guardian Beast.
So you don't just tap anything to play.
Well how much did I fucking float?
You floated.
Yeah, quickly just gonna go through. He should have enough mana to do it.
So I tapped the one, yeah. So
Soul Ring
You could do that.
plus, yeah.
Yeah, you had enough.
Yeah, I
To
had
crack it and
We'll sequence this correctly. Guardian Beast hits the field. Good to go. All right, pass to you.
you got it.
Still just a, yeah. Like I mentioned before, this is old school. We're in round 4. People have been having a lot of fun, which is the most important thing. And it looks like Andrew can only find lands here. He does have another Vice, which is going to get played out, but no direct damage. There's a land tax. Also seems less good here, but still going to play it out.
2. Yeah!
And now James is getting on the aggressive, swinging in with the Guardian Beast. I think he drew a second blue elemental blast. Speaking of elemental blast, there's a red one for Andrew. It's not a damage spell, but at least it'll help. Is that a third blue elemental blast? Or is that just the second one? I can't tell what the card behind him is. There's a mountain. Again, Andrew just getting ridiculously flooded, and this game is slowly coming back within James's reach. Playing out a factory. Tap 4. Oh, there's a tome. That was it. Okay, so he's got a tome.
Not yet
And that's another red elemental blast for Andrew.
Pay for that.
All right.
So it's just out there.
Pass.
And James decided to not risk it to draw a card.
Combat.
Swinging for 2.
14.
Go.
Without an ivory tower.
Offset.
Say go. Is that another mountain? I think it might be. James just sitting at death's door and Andrew unable to draw anything of any consequence. And is just going to pass. Underground Sea. Are we going to draw a card here? Nope. Swinging for 2.
12.
Pass to you.
Pass.
End step.
Wait, is that another red elemental? Does he have 3 in hand?
I mean, 2, 3.
Draw.
There's a mana leak. Oh my god. Do both players have
Out of this shit.
Combat.
at least 3 elemental blasts in hand?
Go.
If Andrew draws a burn spell at any point, this is going to be the... Okay, there's a mountain. Yep. Say go. And miraculously, James has just clawed his way back into this game.
So I gain 1, lose 1.
Andrew was, I believe, at over 20 life at the start of this run with the Guardian Beast. And is now down to 8.
Go.
Not saying there's a chance, but there might be a chance.
Do you see this hand?
Yeah, that is 3 elemental blasts in hand and all lands. James with 3 as well, a Mirror Universe and a mana leak.
I'm fucking faded right now. It's bad. Like, I'm embarrassed.
And eventually he's going to start gaining life off of this ivory tower. There's a copy artifact.
What is going on here?
Swinging for 2.
6.
Go to 6. That's an option. I mean, yeah, play out the lion. Might as well. At least stop the deluge of damage coming in for you. That will get mana leaked, though. Is that worth fighting over? Andrew decides no.
My go.
Yeah.
Interesting, knowing that there's 3 counterspells in his hand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But before you.
So Ivory Tower.
Okay, so nothing.
Yeah, netting
We're
0
good.
right
We're good.
now. This is canceling that out.
Yeah, not getting life yet. Or it's just negated by the vice.
Yes. Spend a 2 or 6. We'll go Mirror.
Alright, there's a Mirror Universe.
That's in the upkeep, right?
Huh?
You have to do that in the upkeep, right?
Yeah.
Are we cracking it now? Nope. Swinging in for 2.
4.
Down to 4. That's a land tax, I think. Yeah.
Fucking kidding me.
This is the most ridiculous game of Magic I think I've seen in a very long time. Both players with
I actually should have.
tons of counter magic for the enemy color.
That's fine. Just
That's from last season.
And Andrew actually discarding a hand size here, I believe. Is that what happened? No. Okay. He's just adjusting his graveyard. There's a land tax.
Want to switch
All
to
right.
totals?
no, not at all. Combat. Go.
And this is literally the last turn for Andrew. It needs to be a bolt or a chain lightning. Otherwise, this is the biggest comeback I think I've ever seen. I think it is. It is a chain lightning. Okay, here we go. Blue elemental blast, red elemental blast.
We'll do that.
Oh, we got a blue elemental blast, red elemental blast, blue elemental blast, and red elemental blast. 7-card stack. Neither player can believe it. They're up in their seats. Holy shit. I have never seen a play that crazy to win a game of old school Magic. All right. Well, thank you to everyone for checking out this game. What a way to end it. That was insane. Thank you to both players. That was some crazy Magic. James almost getting there in game 2, only to just miss it by the craziest stack I've ever seen. Congrats to Andrew moving on. Maybe we'll see him on camera next round, but if not, I know that everyone here had just a ton of fun playing. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribing is the best way to help the channel, as I know most of you who watch these videos are not yet subscribed, so please do so you can find your way back. Old school is definitely something I'm trying to do more on the channel, but we also do cover pre-modern primarily. And lastly, of course, there is a Patreon. That money goes towards gear upgrades, travel expenses to go to more old school events, and of course just making more videos. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you next time.